system, obviously, it has to change. It has to be about a story, a script, and then you cast that script according to who suits that character best, rather than just going for those few names and they are the stars and everybody else is kachara. You mean I don't dress up and go to my manager's office? In our industry, which is very quick to slot us in different positions because of the system that exists there, that could probably be my achievement, that I'm still interesting to watch, and there is something new I have tried and that I do for myself, really.
Welcome to Pink Villa. And your Extraction just completes a year. So how has that been an experience? Because your fans are loving it, people are still celebrating it. So from there till today, how has been the experience?
Oh, I got an overwhelming response for it. It was as if, I went to the Olympics with India against Australia or in America maybe, and we did well. So that was the kind of response that I got from the audience, and the action, of course, was mind-blowing. So that was something new for me. So there was a tremendous reaction to that, and and it opened up a more global audience, whether it's the media there or the audience. On the back of this movie, it released in the pandemic around last year, this time, and still, again, all over again, we are sitting at home. So it might not be a bad idea to watch it again. I might. And, so in the pandemic, it gave people such a thrill, and it reached out to, in 1 month, it went up to more than 100 million households. And if every household has like 3 people, then how many people did it reach? Absolutely. And so that kind of, every actor's deepest desire is to get across to as many people as possible. And this movie made it possible for me. I'm very grateful. Sure. And I'm very, thrilled about being a part of this huge enterprise.
In the last 1 year, things have been different. There are big projects that are releasing on OTT. But that time when that decision was made to release this movie, with such a grand scale on an OTT platform, what were the thoughts that came to your mind?
It was always a Netflix movie. It was going to release on OTT. It was not it might have had because on a big screen, this movie will have another kind of spectacle. So there was a plan to release it, on a very brief scale in the cinemas, but it was always going to reach people through OTT. So this was a no-brainer. But yes, other movies coming on OTT and stuff like that, where you cannot hide behind the numbers at the box office or, all that. So they're looked at as they are in content, the quality that they are. So in that respect, a lot has changed, but as Extraction has come true, even if it was released on big screen and even on small screen, it was a tremendous experience for people.
Grabbing a Hollywood project, it means a lot for Bollywood, and there are a lot of celebs, who have played small parts in those movies, and I've seen people going gaga about it, praising them. But something when it comes to Extraction, that's one thing I missed. I missed a lot of, there were fans who were going, speaking about it, talking about it, but I did not see a lot of Bollywood celebs commenting on it. So did you also miss something like that?
Did I miss it? Well, I'm quite used to it. It has happened time and time again. But that's okay. Maybe they didn't like my acting, like my action. Maybe that's why they didn't speak up. But yeah, there is a lot of hoopla that happens, amongst, people within the industry, which did not happen for this. But hey, maybe, as I said before, maybe they didn't like my acting.
Randeep, do you also feel that because you have spent almost 19 years in the industry, but you do not have the ideal lifestyle, what we call, when it comes to a star or an actor. So do you think that keeps you away from a lot of things?
You mean I don't dress up and go to my manager's office? No, there is a life that I want to lead, and that ideal Bollywood life of, dressing up and going to these parties and being a part of cliques, self-congratulatory, kind of a system. No, I don't miss it, and my life has been about trying to live my characters, trying to live a life as away from the trappings of it as possible, so that I don't lose touch with the reality of life. And once you lose touch with the reality of life, that's where it starts to show on screen, that you start to appear unreal. So I've always kept that around me, and yeah, it's my ideal lifestyle, and I don't have to copy anybody. In fact, I have not given into the the kind of culture that we have. There is a certain sycophancy, there is a certain way of dealing with people. Everybody's an artist, and so I feel always have felt at par with anybody. There should be a sense of respect which is there, but apart from that, I have not catered to that kind of mindset.
Absolutely, absolutely. But industry mein, there is still this, there is superstar, there is actor, then there is a group which probably likes calling them as an artist.
I am just an artist, man. I'm just an actor. I have done movies of all genre. I have done indie movies. I have done commercial movies. I've even delved a little in song and dance in a couple of movies. Which I was not very great at, and I find it always have found that there was a time when songs used to take the screenplay forward, but now it's a disruption in the screenplay. I want to move on and watch the story. The industry always measures it from the point of view of numbers and who they like to cast and what. So that star system has to change. We've got a huge industry, but we are not really able to compete with the world, because our stories are, out there, the script comes first, and then there is a casting according to the script or the story. Here, what you have to cast a star, and then the story is built around that. So a lot of unappropriate casting happens, where the storyteller is also left with not much to play with. So that system, obviously, it has to change. It has to be about a story, a script, and then you cast that script according to who suits that character best, rather than just going for those few names and they are the stars and everybody else is kachara. But that's not the case. So that has to change. It has to be more about storytelling than just be about pandering to a star system.
True. So, in spite of the fact that there are certain realities of the industry which probably we need to change or will take few years to change, while said that, you have still come a long way. You still have a loyal fan base. So when it's your movie is up for release, people have certain expectations. And as you rightly said, that you are an artist. So how do you see that as an achievement?
Oh, I don't know whether that's an achievement. I have just gone about doing my work to the best of my ability and choosing things and projects, out of what is offered to me, and choosing the best out of that, and trying to choose something which is different to what I have done before, so that I keep my own work interesting for myself and also for the audience. 20 years later, I think my biggest achievement would be that a lot of filmmakers still find me unexplored, and they want to do different things with me. So, and in our industry, which is very quick to slot us in different positions because of the system that exists there, that would probably be my achievement, that I'm still interesting to watch, and there is something new I have tried, and that I do for myself, really.
And then you also have an image of an intense actor. So do you think that keeps you a little away from the mainstream cinema?
Intense actor, I don't know what that means, really. I'm more involved.
Yeah.
I'm more involved for sure. But yes, it has kept me away from a lot of, riff-raffish kind of cinema. But I didn't really want to do a lot of it,
Oh, yeah.
When I came to Bombay and I was working with Nasir Saab in the troupe, I used to watch TV. I think there used to be a channel called ETC at that time. And I used to watch it, and I used to wonder, I said, I've come here to become an actor. By the way, I'd come here to become an actor to make a show reel so I could go out west. It just took me 20 years. But that's besides the point.
That's good, yeah.
So I used to look at those promos, and I used to feel that I don't fit into any of these movies. Till I saw Ram Gopal Verma's company promo, and I felt that, that's some space I could be. And I wished that in my heart, and I was called to his office, and I was on his payroll for 35,000 rupees a month for 3 years to not do any other work. So that was probably the age where I would have played these college boys and all that. And in that time, I was doing nothing and waiting to hear from the Lord, Ramu. I really never thought I would fit in, because one has grown up watching a certain kind of cinema, a certain kind of acting, and that you cannot do in isolation. There has to be a writing to it. There has to be a mindset. People are going to make it. A lot of films that I did earlier on in my career, they are now in vogue because of the different content of the OTT that has happened now. So I think I was a bit before my time, but time is changing. And I'm very grateful to still have opportunities to work.
Today, Radhe trailer is out, and so I saw it, and I really like the way you say "Good morning, Mumbai." I would like to know.
Well, I have never done that role. I've never played a negative character in my career so far, which is a villain character. I did a lot of anti-heroes or grey characters, but I have not done that. So this was a new experience, and I hope people enjoy it. I mean, it's a Salman Khan film, so go watch it for that.
We are sitting in the comfort of our homes, and there is internet and all of that. So internet is a boon for all of us. But, it also brings out the worst in people at times. So how, as an actor, as a celebrity, as probably, the power to influence so many people, what is your reaction on the social media trolling that happens?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I feel there are people who are there to help agendas of certain mindsets, certain ideologies, and anything and everything you say which goes against their ideology is something which is to be shunned. There is no discussion on it. They can take something, blow it totally out of proportion. And once it travels, nobody looks at the source of where it came from or where it was picked from. And then it becomes about that, and everybody forms an opinion, and that's what it is. Social media is just basically a place where you go to find reconfirmation of your thoughts, and and a lot of people to go and abuse people who don't confirm with your thoughts. I had written something, like कि Haryanvi, भाई कि मैं कहंदा नहीं, भाई कि मैं कहंदा नहीं, ले कह दी, बोला मेरे मतलब की ना है, साढ़े चुप रहा गया.
I think that's beautiful way to summarize what is happening.
Trolling, I mean, it's you've got to stop. You say chot lag jati hai na, you've got to you keep scratching it. It's like that. So you got to stop doing that. Stop going there. But also with social media, I have been able to influence a lot of things regarding nature, regarding other things. All you can do, the world does not change by your opinion, which is what social media is about. But world can change by your action.
Absolutely.
So I try and do some more the action or the other, even if it is just photographing these our beautiful planet, our nature. It's called conservation photography, where you put out an image which then encourages people to fall in love with it and then try and save it. So there are a lot of, it can be used very positively, like in today's time, a lot of, information about beds, about medicines exchanged. There's a lot of SOS help that is reaching people. So this is, I think, the ideal use of social media, rather than just trying to prove yourself right and other people wrong.
All right, Randeep, it was such a lovely conversation. I think after a lot of days, I had something to discuss on such a scale. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.